The story of golf is often told through rivalries, those high-stakes clashes where pride, legacy, and history collide under immense pressure. Yet, some rivalries transcend competition and evolve into something far more meaningful. Few relationships in sports illustrate this better than the enduring bond between Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus, two legends whose fierce competitiveness was matched only by their mutual respect and quiet support for one another. At first glance, their rivalry appeared classic: Palmer, the charismatic king adored by the masses, and Nicklaus, the calculated prodigy who would go on to dominate the sport with unparalleled precision. But beneath the headlines and the cheers was a relationship built not just on competition, but on collaboration, honesty, and an unspoken understanding that greatness could be shared, even between rivals. One of the most revealing insights into their dynamic came late in Palmer's life, during a candid 2016 interview with journalist Graham Bensinger. Reflecting on decades of shared history, Palmer offered a glimpse into a moment that perfectly captured the essence of their bond. It wasn't during a major championship or in front of roaring crowds, it was something far simpler. Over a drink, in a relaxed setting away from the spotlight, Palmer noticed something in Nicklaus's game. "You've got the ball too far forward in your stance," Palmer told him plainly. "Move it back a little, you'll hit the driver better." It was a small piece of advice, almost casual in delivery, but its significance was anything but minor. For a golfer of Nicklaus's caliber, even the smallest technical adjustment could yield massive results. And importantly, this wasn't criticism, it was refinement. Palmer wasn't exposing a weakness, he was sharpening an already formidable strength. From a technical standpoint, the suggestion made perfect sense. Positioning the golf ball too far forward in the stance can lead to inconsistent contact, excessive spin, and less control over launch angle. By moving the ball slightly back, a player can achieve a more compact and controlled strike, resulting in improved consistency and optimized ball flight. For Nicklaus, already one of the longest hitters of his era, this tweak helped enhance efficiency without sacrificing power. To appreciate the impact, it's worth remembering just how dominant Nicklaus was off the tee. Using a persimmon wood driver, far less forgiving than modern equipment, he averaged around 276 yards in 1968, a remarkable distance for the time. Even more impressively, he won the 1963 PGA Long Drive contest with a towering 341-yard shot. These numbers underscore a crucial point: Palmer wasn't fixing a flaw in an average player, he was fine-tuning the weapon of one of golf's greatest drivers. Their willingness to help each other improve speaks volumes about the nature of their rivalry. Unlike many competitors who guard their secrets jealously, Palmer and Nicklaus understood that pushing each other to higher levels ultimately elevated the sport itself. Their story began in 1958, when an 18-year-old Nicklaus first crossed paths with the already established Palmer. At the time, Palmer was golf's biggest star, beloved for his aggressive style and magnetic personality. Nicklaus, on the other hand, was a rising talent, powerful, analytical, and quietly confident. The true spark of their rivalry came 4 years later at the 1962 U.S. Open. There, a 22-year-old Nicklaus stunned the golfing world by defeating Palmer in a playoff. It was a defining moment, one that signaled the arrival of a new force in the game and marked the beginning of a competitive saga that would span decades. For many fans, particularly those devoted to Palmer, the loss was difficult to accept. Nicklaus, in their eyes, had dethroned the beloved champion. Yet, while the galleries may have harbored resentment, Palmer himself never did. He recognized talent when he saw it, and more importantly, he respected it. Nicklaus would later reflect on this distinction in a 2016 interview with broadcaster Hannah Storm. "I never had to fight him," Nicklaus said. "I always had to fight his fans, but I never had to fight him." It was a telling remark, one that highlighted the difference between public perception and private reality. Behind the scenes, their relationship was far more collaborative than combative. They weren't just rivals, they were partners, teammates, and friends. They played together in Ryder Cup competitions and represented their countries side by side in international events. They traveled together to tournaments, including frequent trips across the Atlantic for the British Open. These shared experiences created a bond that extended well beyond the golf course. Long flights became opportunities for relaxation and camaraderie, often spent playing bridge with their wives. Locker rooms, too, were filled with light-hearted banter and mutual encouragement rather than tension and hostility. It was in these quieter moments that their true relationship flourished. The public saw competition, they lived cooperation. Palmer himself acknowledged this duality. "We helped each other," he said in that same 2016 interview. "And that was a big part of our friendship." It was a simple statement, yet it captured a profound truth. Their rivalry wasn't diminished by their friendship, it was strengthened by it. That balance, between fierce competition and genuine respect, is what set them apart. When they stepped onto the course, both men were fully committed to winning. There were no favors given, no concessions made. Each shot mattered, and each victory was hard-earned, but once the round ended, so did the intensity. The scoreboard never dictated their relationship. As Palmer put it, "He beat me, I beat him, and that's what makes the game of golf so great." It was an acknowledgement that competition was just one chapter in a much larger story. Perhaps the most symbolic moment of their relationship came at the Masters tournament, one of golf's most prestigious stages. After Nicklaus secured his first Masters victory, it was Palmer who placed the iconic green jacket on his shoulders. The gesture was more than ceremonial, it was deeply meaningful. It represented a passing of the torch, an acknowledgement of greatness, and a moment of unity between two competitors who had pushed each other to new heights. Over time, their rivalry became part of a larger narrative in golf history, one that included another legend, Gary Player. Together, they formed what became known as the Big Three, a trio whose influence helped globalize the sport and elevate its popularity to unprecedented levels. Even in his final days, Palmer remained connected to his closest peers. At the 2016 Masters, though he was too ill to hit a ceremonial tee shot, he still made his way to the first tee. There, he stood alongside Nicklaus and Player, his longtime friends and fellow icons, in what would become a poignant farewell. Just 5 months later, in September 2016, Palmer passed away. His absence marked the end of an era, but his legacy, and his relationship with Nicklaus, continued to resonate throughout the golfing world. Looking back, it's clear that what made Palmer and Nicklaus truly special wasn't just their individual achievements, but the way they shaped each other's journeys. Their rivalry wasn't defined by animosity or bitterness, but by a shared commitment to excellence. The moment when Palmer advised Nicklaus to adjust his ball position may seem small in isolation, but it serves as a powerful symbol of their connection. It reflects a level of trust and respect that is rare in any competitive field. It shows that even at the highest level, there is room for humility, learning, and growth. In today's sports landscape, where rivalries are often fueled by controversy and division, the relationship between Palmer and Nicklaus stands as a reminder of what competition can, and should, be. It can push athletes to their limits while still fostering mutual admiration. It can create legends without creating enemies. Ultimately, their story is not just about golf. It's about the idea that greatness is not diminished by helping others achieve it. In fact, as Palmer and Nicklaus demonstrated time and time again, it is often defined by it.